Namaskar, I am your host Naraayannkar. In this video, I will discuss Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's low level of politics. As you all know, India had touched a record 3.32 lakh positive COVID cases and 2,263 deaths in the last 24 hours. So the COVID situation in India is very serious. In this light, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had convened an interaction with 10 chief ministers, which Kejriwal also attended. And this man, who came into politics with a promise to change the political system of India, today stooped to a low level of politics that he completely breached the trust and protocol of keeping the meeting secret. Kejriwal went live from inside the meeting without informing the Prime Minister office and Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. And this was for the first time a chief minister ever did this. Kejriwal had underestimated Modi in this shameful conduct, but the Prime Minister had to tell him that he has broken a very important trust and protocol, and such private conversations are never televised. When Kejriwal realized that the Prime Minister had got to know about it, he froze in his seat and with folded hands apologized Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Since this conversation was public, it is important to discuss what Kejriwal, who was at his theatrical best, spoke in that meeting. He said, there is a huge shortage of oxygen in Delhi. Will people of Delhi not get oxygen if there is no oxygen producing plant here? Please suggest whom should I speak to in the central government when an oxygen tanker destined for Delhi is stopped in another state. Here I would like to intervene and prove that the intention of Kejriwal of going live was to make political comments, was to insinuate that Modi government was not doing anything. On August 27 last year, Kejriwal had made a statement promising Delhi citizens that his government would double the testing and make oxygen available at home. This news also has been tweeted by Aap News on their Twitter handle. So, Mr. Kejriwal, what happened to this promise? Why you did not make oxygen available to people? In a week, it has been a year or so now. What were you doing all these months? Kejriwal ji, you have to give answers to these questions before making your political comments. You are ruling the state for the past 6 years, mind you. Why didn't you establish at least one oxygen plant? You have not even established one hospital. And you tell the Prime Minister to suggest who should he be speaking to in the central government? This is absolutely shameful. And just yesterday, you had tweeted saying that you had spoken to the Haryana Chief Minister, Manohar Lal Khattar, seeking his support in facilitating the transport of oxygen trucks from Haryana to Delhi. And he had assured full support. This is what you had tweeted. And all the media have carried it. And in spite of that, today you tell the Prime Minister asking whom to speak to. Don't you know whom to speak to? You are the Chief Minister of a state. And despite Khattar promising full support, you try to insinuate that the BJP ruled states are not cooperating. This is shameful. Stop playing dirty politics. If you had worked hard, you wouldn't have cried about the shortage of oxygen. And you don't stop here. You also urged Modi to airlift the oxygen from West Bengal and Odisha, insinuating that the Prime Minister has not done anything yet. In fact, the Prime Minister has to tell you and put you to shame that the airlifting had already started. And you also know it pretty well. But you were interested in making political comments instead of seeking help. And you are the same man who was seen yawning and laughing during a previous meeting with the Prime Minister on this very subject of COVID. And I just want to ask the people of the country and also people of Delhi, especially Delhi, does Delhi want such a helpless and useless Chief Minister? That's all from me. It is very important to ask these questions to Mr. Kejriwal. Please do like this video and share it. If you don't even like it, please share this video to at least one or two. One or two will become hundreds and hundreds will become lakhs. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.